Hey guys, it's Sky, and this is What is So Funny. So, this weekend we had a very big event, and by we I mean 20 something comedians, music, and just a really, really very special event. Woody's Laugh Factory, David Ward, Jimmy Ward the Third, and a lot of other people went together and they put on the very first fundraiser, Thrive Together fundraiser, and together it raised mental health awareness, which was beautiful. It was on Saturday. And I showed my set. I was, of course, high as a kite. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We were here to talk about how well it went, and at least from a comedy perspective, how well it went. And I didn't put this video up yet, I don't think, but I'm going to go into more depth of what I thought about how I think it went, because I didn't really go into depth. I mean, if I had a video, like a set I would do on what I thought my experience was like, about what the food went towards and everything, and I'm going to go into depth in that in a second. But what happened was, with all the food that we had left over, we didn't want to just throw it away. It was a lot of food. Me and a few other people thought we should take it to a homeless shelter. And that's exactly what we did. And it was such a beautiful thing. And in the video that I made, I showed what homeless shelter I took it to. It was beautiful, and I'm so proud of where it went. And it was such a beautiful moment, because it still gives me butterflies realizing that how fortunate I was to have come from a good place, in a sense of like being able to afford to have food and everything. And some people are not as fortunate, where they have to struggle every day to get a meal. Yeah, that was very overwhelming. And then I helped somebody to the camp to bring the food back to their son and their 2 dogs. That was extremely overwhelming of emotions, to see that and how they live. Hearing that somebody made a choice, another person made a choice to be homeless after 16 years. That was overwhelming as well, to know that you'd rather be homeless than live the life they lived before. I'm not going into detail because I know more than I'm letting on, but I don't feel comfortable sharing the information I was given, because it's their story, not mine. But it was a very personalized story, and it was very sad, and I understand why they chose what they chose. But from what they told me, it was very much understandable why they chose to be homeless for 16 years rather than what they had gone through. And yeah, but to watch people, when you set down food and they swarmed it, like, and they wanted that food, and it's like, yeah, if that's your only meal you're getting all day. Well, the place I went to, they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but there's an in-between moment, and so yeah, that's a lot. And honestly, whenever I have a few extra bucks, I'm gonna try to donate more stuff there. That's my plan. So I'm gonna donate like extra sheets, extra clothes, extra anything that I might have around. That's my plan ultimately. If I have a couple extra bucks and I want to go get pizza, I'm gonna deliver pizza to them. A person wants a tote for her and her son so they can store more food at their campsite, I'm gonna do that. There's plans to help donate more to that homeless shelter, and so there's definitely plans. And what the homeless shelter is doing definitely opens my eyes out more, because it was, like, I cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I cried because I always try to help people. I have such a big heart to want to help people. But there's a point where it's been broken with trust and broken heart, because I've been taken advantage of a lot, because people know I have a big heart. But I also know that being able to help a homeless shelter, they're doing exactly what I want to do. That way, with a homeless shelter, they're doing the big work. You can just donate items or food. They're doing the rest. Getting to see the reaction of these people is all I need. All I need to see is I'm doing a good thing. And these people are saying thank you for everything you're doing, and it makes you feel great. So this episode of What's So Funny isn't so much about being funny and talking about comedy. It's really talking about mental health awareness and what we did this weekend, and how everything kind of comes around. We did a great show. We all had so much fun. I was actually talking to my friend at the show. I really mainly just hung with her and my two friends. We just hung out and talked because I met her about a week ago, and she was really awesome. We smoked. We just had a great time. We really did. I know two people, actually, two of my friends, and we just had a great time. It's what we really needed, just being able to hang out all afternoon to the night. And we stepped away for a second to smoke some pot, and then I came back, and I was gone most of the night, quite literally, because it was like, ooh. And after that, it was like, my happy ass just sat down and stayed in one spot until my set. If you actually watch my set, I sound like I'm on cloud 9, because I am. I don't remember doing my set, and I've said it before, I don't really remember doing my set, but that was just such a fun night. The food was really good. So when we were making the leftovers, I was so tired, because on top of making the food, I have to drive back home, which is an hour and 10 minutes away. Then I have to find a way to get it in my fridge that already has food for us. So I have to spend another 2 hours trying to stay awake, because I had just driven an hour and 10 minutes. Gotta make room in my fridge, gotta make room in my freezer, unpack it. Then the next morning, I gotta try to get some sleep. Then I gotta, next morning, try to pack it away again. And it was the whole process. It really was. It was a great process, but it's a matter of I have to keep keeping myself awake to do it all. And my brain is just like, I just drove, stayed awake for X amount of hours and entertained people and talked to people and blah, 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 blah. And my brain's like, I just want to sleep, bitch. And I'm like, so it was great. And then I get another emotion, which is feeling prideful and goodness of my heart. And my brain can't do it. And it just broke down crying because it was so happy for what I did. And then I get home from the homeless shelter. Then I got to go do something else. And I got to drive again. And then I'm tired again. When we did the podcast from my friend, which is Jimmy's podcast, both Jimmy's podcasts, which is Abraham Drinking without the Y. Without the G, excuse me, at the end of it. Apparently we all look super tired. Yeah, because I've been driving like all weekend practically. Which I love driving, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I looked apparently super tired, which I was. Because pretty much all my drives consist of 2-hour drive times during the week, plus driving from work. So it turns into like 3-hour drive times practically during the week. And it's long drives at a time. 35-mile drives each way. It's tiring. Very tiring. And they're usually during the day and then at like almost midnight each night. So it's like very tiring. So it's very nice that I can do some drives during the day, because then I'm not, if they're at night, I feel like I'm going through hell and back. It's like, oh, this is not pleasant. And I used to not be able to drive at night very well. Now it's okay because I depend on caffeine. Now, I will say this. I used to drink Mountain Dew like a motherfucker. Like, if it was alcohol, I would need Alcoholics Anonymous. I only use it now just strictly like coffees. If I need to stay awake, which I do when I'm going to like comedy shows and shit, and it's later at night, I use this coffee. Otherwise, if I'm at home, water. Because I make up for having to drink 1 to 2 of these size pops. So otherwise, I really don't drink as much caffeine as I used to. So in actuality, I really don't drink a whole lot of pop. I just drink it like coffee, because otherwise coffee goes right through me. It really does. And I can't put creamer in it anymore because I'm lactose intolerant. So at the end of the day, caffeine's about the only thing I can drink to keep me awake. And during the festival, actually, I had it too because I had to stay awake because my set was... There's a piece of hair in my face. My set was like number 15 out of 20. So I had to listen to everybody else. I had to stay awake. So my brain's like, it's either smoke 2 joints while I'm there, or just drink a fuck ton of caffeine and hope and pray it just keeps me awake. So I did that one. And then also smoke, so I was really high, and then I started crashing, and I'm like, oh crap, now I need caffeine like really bad. So by the end of it, I was just stoned and caffeinated, which was a very weird mix, by the way. I realized I'd never been actually stoned and caffeinated, which felt really weird. I don't really know how to explain it because I don't remember being stoned for most of the afternoon. Like when I had gotten stoned, when I felt it, I don't remember doing my set like at all. So, like I really don't remember my set. Like apparently I had sat back down. I had asked my friend, like, did I do my set? And apparently I did, and I didn't realize that. So I actually went back to watch the video. I don't remember any of that, like whatsoever. Which is actually a really funny high, and I really, like, it's funny to me. But, you know, I don't know the feeling of being stoned and caffeinated. I just don't, because I don't remember any of it. So, but it must feel good because you're awake. You are very awake, but yeah, definitely the shows are calming down a little bit, but, like, tomorrow I'm going to the Cove, and then Saturday I'm going to PA, which sounds crazy, but it's only like an hour and 45-minute drive, so it sounds crazy. But again, I've been doing like hour and 20-minute drives. I've been doing an hour and 35-minute drives, so PA is seriously nothing at this point. The drives are becoming easier. They're becoming, you know, kind of just like, I don't really care at this point. So, I went to Niles the other day. I'm like, at this point, I just don't care, you know? I may, just for that one, I may wear my Steelers one. But then again, I wear my Westside Ken t-shirt. And I feel, like, weird not wearing anything but my Westside Ken t-shirt. So it's like, I don't want to wear anything but my Westside Ken t-shirt. Because that's my, like, uniform. I wear my special shorts to perform in. That's like my uniform, my comedy uniform. Like eventually I gotta get a Monty shirt, so I have other shirts to wear. Cause I like my shorts that I wear for comedy. I don't know why, they make me feel really, like, good, I guess. And there's nothing special about them. They're just shorts. There's nothing, like, they're not a certain material. They're nothing. They're just shorts. But my shirt is a Westside Ken t-shirt, which is a friend of mine who's another comedian. Eventually, I want to get a Monty Lipkin t-shirt. So I have 2 comedian t-shirts. Because otherwise, if I'm doing so many shows, one of those days before a show, I have to wash it. Because a lot of my friends smoke cigarettes. So I don't need to always smoke. I don't need to always smell like cigarettes. Because in all honesty, they smoke cigarettes. It doesn't bother me because my fiance's whole family smokes cigarettes. Smoking doesn't bother me. I just smoke pot and vape a little bit out of mine. So, for my back. But when I go to other shows, I just don't want to smell like cigarettes all the time. So, this is the main reason I wash my shirt. And then, otherwise, everything's going really good. The shows I've done so far, everything I've done within this month, and I haven't been performing all that long. Like, I just realized if you watch the Abraham Drinking Show podcast, I have had a lot of opportunities that most startup comics don't get, and I'm very grateful. But I realized this is not what I wanted to go on my rampage about today. Of course, it's like a bullshit with Sky Time, and I didn't mean to do that with this one. I wanted to talk about the fact that, you know, the festival that we were part of, all these comics that came out to support our time, I realized that we only got like 5-minute sets, which I do 5-minute sets normally. We weren't even at our best. What I mean by that is we all did great, but you know, you had like people like Rob Coleman and John Hoff, who are big names, and they didn't even do the sets they normally do. These guys are doing 35, 40 hour minute sets, and you got 5 minutes of it. And they're fucking hilarious guys. And it's like, shit, you get like a 5 minutes. It's like asking them to 5-minute conversation with you, and you don't even get like the whole thing. It was great. And they were great. They're always great. And it's fucking hilarious. And it's like, they're two of the most down-to-earth guys. Everybody was great. And then so was fucking Levi. Levi was fucking, oh my god. Levi is one of the greatest guys too. Everybody was great. And then fucking Angus. Oh my god. I'm missing people just because, again, those are the guys that stand out to me because I've worked with them before and I've gotten to be on stage with them. Again, I was high as a fucking kite. Be glad I was able to name those guys because I was fucking stoned. And I mean stoned. The thing that apparently I was told is I was going around and telling my friend that Angus was apparently telling on me for being high. I don't know how true that was. I don't think it was true. But I remember saying something along that line apparently. I love the beginning of my act because I had to, or my set, because I had to edit it and put stuff on YouTube. And I said, I apologize for what came out of my mouth. I'm glad that's how I started it. So, but yeah, that whole event was just fucking fantastic. You know, the baskets were beautiful, the whole. And my friend, I'm going to say her name just because there's something important out of this. Her name's Abby, and honestly, she's about to put an article out, I hope. I don't know if it's going to come out or not. I know she knows people through the article grapevine, but about the whole event that was made, and it happened through Thrive Together, and just how it was the first event. We want to make this annual thing. And what I mean by we, as the whole Thrive Again with David himself, who put this together. David put this together in 2 months, by the way. David and the crew put together in 2 freaking months. Obviously, when they do it next year, they want to do it in more than 2 months. They did in 2 months. It's so fucking impressive. They made over 2,000 something bucks, which is fucking fantastic for a first time. He did it in his backyard, which obviously we want to outgrow David's backyard. And then finally, something I just got to insert because I almost forgot to mention this earlier. The Saturday show that I'm doing in PA, I get 10 minutes. This is the first time I get 10 minutes, like, and I've only been doing this for a month, so I'm so used to 5-minute sets. And John Hoff, who's putting this one together, is giving me 10 minutes, and I'm really, really fucking excited. And I'm so overwhelmed, by the way, for 10 minutes. So, you know, it's just opportunities are coming left and right, and that's what I'm really excited about. You know, it's funny because Jimmy Ward III asked me, and I'm only saying Jimmy Ward III. I always just say Jimmy and Jimmy, but for this one it's very specific. Jimmy Ward III asked me, what goals do I have? Or Jimmy might have asked me. One of them two asked me, what goals do I see? And I really started thinking about it. He had left when I actually started thinking about this in my head, and then I found this out by John Hoff. But, you know, I think I had said I wanted more time on stage or something along that lines on the podcast. And it's really funny that as soon as I said that, John Hoff asked for comedians, and I ended up with 10 minutes. So it's so funny that I might have said that and then just got 10 minutes on stage. So you know, it is funny how you kind of say a goal and then it kind of just happens. Now, I know it's not always going to be that way, but it is very interesting how things are just kind of falling into place one by one by one by one by one. So, I think my goals right now for comedy are just, and I'm going to be truthfully honest, letting things fall into place as they go. Honestly. Let's just see where this goes. I think my goals right now are just letting things fall into place where they should be. Because I did not think I was going to be a comedian, let alone in a month beyond how many stages I've been on, let alone be doing what I'm doing. Never thought in a million years I'd be doing this, let alone in a month where I am right now, going into PA in less than a week. So everything's falling into place as it could be and should be. So I think I'm doing great. So thanks guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time on What Is So Funny. Bye.